Hi friends, this is Sarah from Crafting and Relaxing. Welcome and thank you so very much for joining me. Today we are doing a basic gray collaboration. It's with Bourbon Creek Crafts, who is Beth here on YouTube, and Stampin' Cat on Instagram, and it's bringing back basic gray. Basic gray only makes fabric now, and we know that we can't, bring them back to paper, but we can bring out our paper collections and our basic gray stash and enjoy them and share them with you. Let me show you what I have made today, and then I want to talk about my strategy for this paper collection, because I actually did some planning on this, which is not my normal style. Mine is tear into it, start cutting, see where the day takes you. Also, this video is due out in an hour, so I'm in a bit of a hurry, so let's get going. And it was pretty funny timing, because one of you said this week that if I ever made a cat journal, you would be interested. And I had already started a cat pile and a dog pile. And quite honestly, the dog one inspired me less, I think, because I've made dog ones before. So the cat one, I just had a great time with. The dog one is only this far. Not sewed, not a journal, it's an idea. Mr. Crafting and Relaxing makes fun of me because I don't just make two at once, but I just follow a path and get sidetracked. But let's look at this cat journal. Love this paper on the front. It's like cartoony cats. This is a pretty plain journal. Maybe it's naked. I mean, it's ready to go, but I haven't locked people into decorating. I tried to leave a lot of room for photos because, quite frankly, I probably have more photos of my Pooh Bear from the 10 years that we had her than I have of Mr. Crafting and Relaxing. Phone is full of Wilson, Pooh, Sadie, and Parker. And there should be lots of room. And what I did on the journaling cards is I made them fairly large so you could put photos, and fairly plain. You could throw them out. You could take circle punches or scissors, cut these out, use them as embellishments, toss this, and then have more room for photos. I tried to keep it super simple, and you'll notice I haven't decorated up all the spots. So you could put a picture here, but I love this blue cat. I made it so it could be a tuck spot for a photo or a card. I'm going to take out these navy pieces as we go, but they were to give you an idea. Love this paper. I used the back side of something on the cover that I didn't like, because this is a double layer, and really tried to tone down the papers that were low wild. I have 2 layers of paper here and a sticker. I had the sticker sheet, so I used 2 cats out of it and this. I'm not really a bow person. I liked these flowers, but I would use those probably with foam mount, and I don't really do that in journals. This is just gorgeous. Again, you could write on this with a marker, not a Sharpie though, or you could put photos on it. I tried to integrate almost all the stamps. I didn't use my Garfield stamps, but I used quite a few stamps. 1 cat short of crazy. This is an art impression stamp. And then, look, I used my little paw punch. And then this says Crafting and Relaxing on the back. This was actually a scrap reject, and I was like, oh, I'm going to use that. And this paper I didn't mind too much. Loved the blue in it. And then here, kind of toned down the wild patterns with the card and a stamped cat. And again, if you wanted, you could fussy cut that cat and use it somewhere else and ditch the journaling card. I love these cats. They're just fun. At first, I wasn't sure. Look at this page. Sometimes you make something and go, wow, that's cool. I mean, I don't take the credit for it necessarily, but that fun hashtaggy stamp just gives an interesting background. And the color that I used on this was VersaFine Toffee. I love these inks. And I just wanted a little bit of interest. And then I put the blue sticker cat on it. Love it. Over here, tuck spot for things I've learned from my cat, or you could leave it, or you could write your things you've learned from your cat on here. This is a little big for this pocket, but I just like the color and the paw and everything, so I left it. And some paw stamps, and this paper has paws in it. And then I have quite a few pockets. This journal is shorter than my normal, so the pockets come out feeling a little deeper. The pages are 8 inches tall, and I'll talk about that at the end. And then I put one of these time punch cards from Crafty Bean. I thought it might be fun to fill one of these out for a cat. I mean, Sadie's would be like 11 a.m. She has to eat breakfast, her second breakfast, and then she has to have dinner by 5, smack Parker around, and then go take a nap. The little cat is the boss here. Okay, look at the stamp. Kind of out of character for me. In the 90s, when I started making cards and stamping, I didn't make any journals. I'm not even sure if I was a scrapbooker yet. My friend used to come over and craft with me, and she would buy stamps and leave them at my house. And this is one of the stamps that my BFF left at my house 25 years ago, at least. It's not my style, but it just makes me happy to have it around and to use it. So I thought that was fun in here. I don't mind that they show through. If you're a card maker and that freaks you out, embellish this side of it. Another little stamp. This was light blue paper that I tea or coffee dyed, and I think it just kind of works in here. Then, I don't know if it shows on camera. See that? 3 layers of paper. I used a die cut of paws, and I filled the paws in with glossy accents. Now, I did another one. Well, if I find it, I'll put it in with this journal. And I used platinum stickles on the paws. At first, right after I did this one, I just didn't think I was really going to like it. I do like how it turned out, even on the textured paper. It would have been better on a solid color paper. Pattern in the paper is a little confusing to the eye. I have a little pile of cat embellishment extras, and I'll put it in there. Again, paws, a paw print on a piece of paper. I think this would be a cute spot for a bigger embellishment or maybe a little tiny photo. I love this pocket. What do you think? It's a little awkward because of the way the stitching was, and I knew that, but it was a scrap of paper, and I was bound and determined to make it a showpiece in here because I didn't have a lot of this paper. Then I put a tag in it. Oh, let's add a little something. There we go. Inked the edges, put these little Studio Katya bitty paws, polymer clay bitty paws on there, and a ribbon that I have tea or coffee dyed. So it's a little on the grungy side. It's also ridiculously stiff. And it sticks out the top. If that doesn't fit with the journal, cut it down, take it out, whatever. And I thought, this is just cute. And these little paws, I have some that are black and white too, but in this journal, I really loved these, and I thought the earth tones were good. I love that pocket. That turned out fun. And then here's another cute cat in a flower pot. This one's just plain. You could chop it up, you could use it, but it gives you paper that ties in with the rest. This cries out for decoration and embellishment, doesn't it? And a couple of paws here and paws up the page. I was tempted to put stuff on these 2 really pale pages, but then I decided they would be wonderful for journaling. So I left them blank because there's no plain white. This is as close as it gets. I love this paper. Of course, my colors, right? Here, I did something I haven't really done. This was the other side of the envelope sticking through. And I know I've had some where I just glued it down and called it good, but I decided to make it sort of a statement piece. So I had this scrap of blue and then 1 cat left. And I wanted the cat stickers to always have contrast when I use them because I only had 2, right? I wanted to make them pop. This would be a cute page for some journaling or a little photo, or you could put a cluster here, or you could leave it exactly how it is. I didn't round the corners because, I don't know, this collection's very geometric, but you could. And then I have a little tiny cat embellishment. I sat on the couch and stamped and layered one night, and then I just used some of the stuff in here. More of that. Dogs think they're human and cats know they are. And these vinyl cats that you're seeing, Bourbon Creek Crafts gave these to me when she did scraps. She was trying to use up her scraps of vinyl, and she sent me some cats and circles and fun little things. So I used a couple of those in here. And again, if you wanted to use this as an embellishment, you could just cut off the top of this card and then you'd have that loose. Or you could fussy cut if you're super crazy. I'm not. Look at this one. I love this. This is a Fisker's stamp set. I think I got it at Joann a long time ago that I'm using. And Meow. And then this is a card that just happens to magically color-wise work here, and I added some cats across the top. And I love that it has the colors, and then I trimmed it down and left the hearts because, I don't know, I thought about fussy cutting right there, but I didn't want to. So I like it, it's cute. The color's a little off on this side with the reds, but I think it's okay. Look at this. This is a paper bag. So you have this big pocket, which is a little awkward, but it works. And then you have a little pocket right here. And then I've decorated the end. A house is not a home without a cat. And I want you guys to see this page and look at it. This is basic gray. This came from an authentic paper pad. And these were from a Graphic 45 ephemera pack. Mix and match. Don't be shy about mixing your brands. If they're things that make you happy together, if the colors work, or if they're close, like this is a little off, it's fine. Just mix it up. Have a great time. This page, I think you could journal on too, or you could put photos. Here's another cat. Looks like my Sadie. And I didn't make any end pockets in this one, but I did move this tuck spot way over. You could pull it out and just put photos. I was trying to be really sensitive to room for photos, so I decided I didn't want any more verticals up the middle. Fun paper here. I punched some little paws. I had a little trouble, but then I thought maybe it's cute. If it tears out or you don't like it, cut the end off. Cats. And then right in there, I wrote crafting and relaxing. There it is. What do you think? I kind of love this little cat one, and I bet it will be adorable. If you haven't seen the pet journals before, I made quite a few of them, and my sister just filled hers with photos of her dogs. So I imagine this thing will get a little chunky. I left the cover a little bit long. I don't know how to explain that, but as it gets fatter, it should kind of bend and go like this. The other thing I did was I modeled this after my goals journal of 2020, and I put the pages lower. So what that does is when it's sitting on the shelf or a counter or in a cupboard of scrapbooks, the pages are nearly sitting on the ground. It's less likely to tip it and damage it over time and handle the weight of all the photos that you add. I made some slight modifications here. If you still want to hang around for a minute, I'll tell you why this journal is shorter. What I normally do is my cover is usually 9 inches tall so that you can use an 8.5 by 11 piece of paper inside. On this one, I did some planning and I looked at my paper collection from Basic Gray. Now, these were old ones. Back in the day, this was $20 a pack. I mean, that was a lot, right? It was 2009, and it was $20. But here's the trick for a Basic Gray collection. It had 18 pieces of paper. Typically, we get 12 these days from, like, say, Echo Park or somebody. And the alphabet stickers and a sheet of coordinating cardstock stickers. And I love how they did their stickers because they're not slick. You can decorate them with your gel pens. You can decorate them with stickles, your Wink of Stella, anything. They're easy to decorate. Somewhere I have alphabet stickers that I was going to put in here too. I don't know where they are, but they're this color right here, this little corner of blue. Anyway, so I sat down and I recalled years ago, I made a really wonderful December daily that I loved. And I kind of liked the shape of it. And also what I did was, it was a Cardabella collection and I wanted to make cards and get every bit of the paper that I could out of it. So I made my pages 8 inches tall because then that gives you scraps that are 4 inches. Most of my card templates, I love to start with a 4-inch piece of paper. So you can go smaller and mat with cardstock, but that 1/2 inch to me makes a big difference in card making, and it doesn't make a big difference in journal making. What I did was I went through this paper collection and I said, okay, these papers are going to go in the dog journal. Dog exclusive, not a photo of a cat at all. These are cat exclusive. They went here. I think there might be some combo in the dog. Maybe it didn't land that way. I divided them up. I chose covers for each one. This is the cover for the dog journal, and then this will be the layer that makes it more stable, and then I'll have a 4-inch scrap of this to do something cute in the dog journal. And then I mapped out and sort of thought about, okay, how many pieces of scraps would that give me? Now, I did use scraps in creating the journal. I'm not so concerned with making cards that I'm going to sacrifice, oh, the journal can't have another pocket. Does that make sense? I mean, I have a lot where I folded it up, so this scrap could have made a card, but it didn't. And then I have other ones where, you know, this could have been a card, but it's too cute not to be. So in my mind, I was going to smash this whole collection, make 2 journals and a bunch of cards. Okay, this is how far we got, but I do have this kit right here for dog journal. And then when you're doing something like this, finish your journals first, because with the cards you can improvise a little more, and you know, 1 strip of paper in a solid brown won't break your heart. But if you make the cards and realize, oops, you cut up the cover to your dog journal, you're going to be sad. And always pick your covers first. I talk about that in my tutorial on beginning journal making, because your cover is cut to a bigger size. Thanks so much for watching. Go check out our friends, Bourbon Creek Craft and Stampin' Cat, and the links will be down below. It is Saturday morning and I don't have my weekend figured out. So I think my updates video tomorrow will tell you what crazy stuff I've been up to. Bye-bye.